out of our song Come Come Whoever You Are with Spirit of Life. And Jarius will have the lyrics up on the screen for us, but you probably know them all by heart. Let's sing out.
Birthday, which I know all of you know, but we're going to sing Happy Birthday to us, so I would like to sing it the first time through, and then immediately you guys will just join in with a hearty rendition. Okay?
So that's all. Oh, what great fun. I would love to invite up now our Director of Lifespan Religious Exploration, Robert Tidwell, who will lead us in our wisdom tale. It's called Amira's Porpoise.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Today I'm going to tell a story about a girl who is searching for a porpoise. Now, as you may know, a porpoise is a sea mammal in the dolphin family. Porpoises are smaller and shyer than dolphins, and they are more difficult to find, but porpoises are very important.
Robert, I thought our theme was purpose.
Purpose?
Purpose, not porpoise.
Not well, oops. Uh, do you mind if I tell my porpoise story anyway? Because it's the only story I have this morning.
No, it's perfect. It's perfect.
Okay. So there was once a girl named Amira, and all she wanted for her birthday was a porpoise of her very own. She wished and hoped and dreamed of a porpoise. She asked her parents and her grandparents, and she told all her friends at school that she was getting a porpoise for her birthday. But a birthday came and went, and she did not get a porpoise. She was disappointed, and she wanted answers. So she asked her parents, and all they said was, "Oh, Amira, we couldn't get you a porpoise. That is something you need to seek out for yourself." Amira looked at her parents kind of funny and said, "You know I said porpoise, right? The sea mammal that's smaller than a dolphin?" Her parents looked at each other and said, "Oops, but you can't have a wild animal for your birthday anyway." Then she went and she asked her grandparents, and they said, "Oh, Amira, we can't get you a porpoise. You have to figure that out on your own when you're older, and sometimes even adults still don't know what their purpose is." At this point, Amira was getting a little annoyed. "I said porpoise. Porpoise, the sea mammal like a small dolphin." Her grandparents said, "Oh, sorry, we misheard you, but we wouldn't have brought you a porpoise anyway. They belong in the wild sea, dear." Amira was fuming. Why had no one understood her when she wanted a porpoise? And now she thought about it. Why were the adults unwilling to give her a purpose either? What was a purpose anyway? So Amira set about finding a purpose. Over the next several years, she asked a lot of adults that she knew and trusted. Some of the adults said, "I don't know, that's a really hard thing to explain." But some of the adults gave her some good advice. They said, "Pay attention to the things that you care about and how you use those to make a difference in the world. You may not have a clear idea about it yet, and purpose will certainly change over time. But if you think about the things you value and how you can use those things for good, you'll be on the right track." So Amira thought about the things that she valued and cared about, things like animals and the habitats they live in. She thought about the things she liked to do, things like learning new things and teaching those things to younger children. She thought about her heroes, people who were living their lives in ways that she wanted to copy. She thought about what was possible and ways that she could change the world when she was older. And eventually, after some time and some work, Amira came up with her purpose. And the funny thing is that Amira's purpose didn't stray too far from porpoises. She decided that her purpose was to be a caring advocate for the earth and teach others about conservation. And that's just what she did. And now, if the children will come up and get the chalice, we will be sung out to our class.
Great time. The offering message this morning feels a little bit like, wow, with all that everyone chipped in yesterday, I feel like the last thing I want to do is ask for people to share any more of their lives with us. It was just such an amazing event yesterday. And I do thank each and every one of you for your generous hearts. But as we wind down after our wonderful birthday weekend celebration, let's take this moment to offer gratitude for the ways that we have stepped up and stepped in to keep our commitments and reach beyond them with a deep heart connection to support this community that we love and the work that we're doing together. Sharing is a privilege, and it's an expression of compassion that blesses us individually and as a congregation. Giving generously from a grateful heart is one way that we live out our desire to be good stewards of this congregation, because this is our church, and we support it through our gifts of our time, our talents, our treasure, and all of our energy, it seems. We invite you to bring your offerings online through the clicking on the donate button that's at the bottom of the electronic order of service that went out this morning. And I also asked Jarius to put the link to our PayPal into the chat, if he can. Looks like we're getting caught up there. And if those of you here in the sanctuary wish to bring an offering that you have with you, please come forward now and leave your gifts and your non-perishable donations to the Inland Valley Hope Partners Beta Center on the altar. And it is with deep gratitude for the many gifts of our community that the offering will now be given and received. Another element of our service that we enjoy is sharing the things that are going on in our lives, one with another, both the amazing and the awful, and the delights and disappointments that have come into our lives. We do have this little tradition of writing them on these little pieces of paper and putting them here. But also, if you're online and you'd like to share something with the congregation, please go ahead and type it into the chat. I can read it from up here. But I'll read the ones I got today. Wow. Lots of good things happening, I hope. Let's see. Yeah, this first one is a joy. It's from Maribel. She says, my great niece is recovering from life-threatening blood clots in her lungs and heart caused by a badly sprained ankle and birth control pills and a pain medication, all combined. Wow, it's a lot. She rejoiced with my family. Oh, her wedding is 9/24, and it will go on as scheduled. So beautiful. That's great news, Maribel. It is Glenn Hand's birthday. Happy birthday. And another joy, this one comes from Reverend Ellen. It says, let me know if this resonates with anyone. MVUUC knows how to give a hell of a party. Indeed, indeed we do. Yeah. I'd like to invite you to join me now in a time of meditation. I have a guided meditation today in which we see ourselves as relational beings filled with loving kindness and immersed in our connection with the earth. One whose greatest heart wish is to be in a community, one who brings truth and meaning to life, and one whose deepest wish is to be of value and of service to all beings. I invite you to join as deeply as you're comfortable, seating yourselves in a way that releases tension. Let your eyes float softly closed. We see ourselves as having an open mind and heart, one that is filled with wishes and amazed to have just learned that you can breathe in the energy of the sky. And we breathe that in together and out. We breathe it deeply in behind our bellies and then out with a whoosh. We now become that vessel where the energy of the sky meets the energy of the earth. We see ourselves in a grove of trees just as the sun is setting. And it feels as if the day is cooling to a perfect temperature. Perhaps you are sitting on the ground, leaning against the trunk of your favorite tree, sensing that you're one with it. You can feel the live soil all around you, and you feel how very, very dry and parched the land is. But although the earth is so very dry, you can still sense the vitality in the earth, and you tune in to your roots that go deep, deep into the earth. You become aware of your taproot, the main core of your centered self, and follow that root down into the soil. As you allow it to grow a little bit more, you feel a sense of that root going down and down. Like the trees, you search to find water, a wellspring of life that is deep down in the earth. The more our roots stretch out into the earth, they meet up with those familiar rocks in this valley. At first, our roots push hard against these troublers, but then we realize that we can slowly curl around the rocks. And instead of being obstacles, the stubbornness of the rocks has become a strong anchor that stabilizes you even more. As you suddenly find the water you seek and gradually sense it rising up into your roots, sense the connection to the mycelium that connect all of the forest, and send some of that water out to your brothers and sisters and the younger ones in the tree community, all sharing from the earth's water supply. We feel that energy moving back up and outward to your fellow trees, sensing now that the water you share is bringing refreshment and energy. The trees nearby wave their small green leaves, and sensing the moon and starlight on your skin, there's a slight breeze, and you settle into a sense of peace and quiet, slowing down, slowing down, slowing down to the rhythm of the trees. Center yourself in your heart as we slow down and become a bit more aware of our bodies now. We know that there is a place in the heart where everything meets. Mind, senses, spirit, wishes, longings, and soul. Our heart is a safe container of vast experience that we can enter whenever we choose, to rest in a perfect spot connected to all life. We turn our attention now back to our bodies in these chairs, in this beautiful space, with this beautiful, connected community. Breathing in and breathing out. And please remain seated as you gently open your eyes and reach for your teal hymnal if you have one. We will sing song number 1009. It's near the front of the hymnal. It's called the Meditation on Breathing. We're going to do a little experiment with it. It's usually done in rounds. There's 3 verses to it, but we'll do just the first one and the third one. So Lily, we have the lyrics split out that way. We have side A and side B. So side A is 1009. You got it?
It was like a second part.
Right. So we'll sing the first part and learn it. And side A will sing that. And they'll keep singing it. And side B will sing the other one. Breathe in, breathe out. Till it naturally. You're my expert on that. So let's start with side A. The lyrics are here. When I breathe in peace.
Yes.
just sing, breathe in, breathe out. That's the part that goes, breathe in, breathe out. So they'll keep singing that.
The wrong one, sorry.
No. That's fine. It's all about learning, right? If we don't learn new things, we're going to get tired of our music, and we don't want that. So, can we do side B?
Sure.
Okay. Beautiful. Thanks, everybody. Hey, if we're not learning, why are we here, right? Yeah, thank you. Our reading for today comes from one of my and many of our favorite poets, John O'Donohue. I hope he doesn't mind. John, is it okay? I changed the the phrasing a little bit to make it fit our birthday. But the poem is titled For Your Birthday by John O'Donohue. Blessed be the minds that dreamed of the day that the blueprint of MVUUC would begin to glow on the earth, illuminating all the faces and voices that would arrive to invite our souls to growth. Praised be our founders who loved this community before it was formed and trusted that our heart would call us here with no idea of who we would be. Blessed be those who have loved this congregation into becoming who it was meant to be. Blessed be those who have crossed its life with dark gifts of hurt and loss, gifts that had helped to school us in that art of disappointment. O Monte Vista, when desolation surrounded you, blessed be those who looked for you and found you, their kind, warm heart and hands urgent to open a blue window in the gray wall that formed around you. Blessed be the gifts you rarely notice, your thoughts that keep you curious for the countenance of the unknown, or a clear memory that harvests those vanished days, your heart to feel the waves of the world and the impacts of compassion, your breath to breathe the nourishment made intimate by earth. On this echoing day of your birth, dear congregation, may you open the gift of solitude in order to receive your soul. May you enter the generosity of silence in order to hear your hidden heart. And may you know the serenity of stillness in order to be enfolded anew by the miracle of our being one. Pause. Maddie, can you hold just one?
Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
This is a real special weekend for us, which I realized yesterday when I was here. So Lily and I would like to present this special piece of music for you that we both dearly love. The song is entitled Les Berceaux, Ships. It is by the great French poet Sully Proudhon. And it talks about love, a very special kind of love that I know many of you will recognize. When the sailors go out on those huge ships to sea, it's many times because they feel a pull to the great deep ocean and its rocking of the waves. And I myself wondered for many years, what is it that calls these men back to shore? Why don't they just stay out there if they love the ocean so much? There's another rocking that these men experience, particularly when they're out at sea, and it's the rocking of the cradles of their wives and the women that they love that's back on shore. So Sully Prudhomme says, these great hulking ships that are tied at the wharf, and they rise and they fall with the surge and swell of the sea, do not feel that rocking. But the day will come when those ships head out to the ocean to do what they were built for, to carry those men. And on that day, as it has been for many thousands of years, the women will weep as they rock the cradles. And that is the day that those ships feel the allure and the pull back to shore, because of the love that those rocking cradles has for them. Les Berceaux by Gabrielle Fauré. Oh, can I sing from there?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
That's good.
I didn't like singing back there. You gave me so much energy, I think we can take the slower tempo.
Okay.
Thank you, Maddie. Beautiful. We're going to learn a little more about that pull now.
Yeah,
I didn't know we were working together, but I guess we were from the beginning.
the three of us.
Yeah, oh yeah, always, yeah,
The four of us.
yeah. There's a poem written by the poet Clementine von Radix that a dear friend included in her wedding vows when she married her second husband just a few years ago. Both Trish and Gary came into their marriage with hearts that had been given a pretty good workout. Both had relationships that ended too early, one by the death of a beloved, and one by a broken dream and addiction. This marriage is working out beautifully for both of them, and they're still learning how the important events of their past walk with them as they walk together. They chose Von Radek's poem as a segment of their vows because it touches beautifully on that facet of their new relationship that asks each partner to recognize the importance of the things from each other's past that make them who they are together. They see those life passages as gifts that they bring to one another. Let me share the poem with you, and we can open it up as a gift. One more 70th birthday present. I am not the first person you loved. You are not the first person I looked at with a mouth full of forevers. We have both known loss like the sharp edges of a knife. We have both lived with lips more scar tissue than skin. Our love came unannounced in the middle of the night. Our love came when we'd given up on asking love to come. I think that has to be part of its miracle. This is how we heal. I will kiss you like forgiveness, and you will hold me like I am hope. Our arms will bandage, and we will press promises between us like flowers in a book. I will write sonnets to the salt of sweat on your skin, and novels to the scar of your nose. I will write a dictionary of all the words I have used, trying to describe the way it feels to have finally found you. And I will not be afraid of your scars. I know sometimes it's hard to let me see you in all of your cracked perfection, but please know, whether it's the days you burn more brilliant than the sun or the nights that you collapse into my lap, your body broken into 1,000 questions, you are the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, and I will love you when you are a still day, and I will love you when you're a hurricane. The energy of love in those words brings all of our hearts alive. We recognize that love from the energy of those poets' words, an energy that is always available to us and always there to expand our hearts and minds and touch us in ways we are brave enough to open toward. The love in her words have a spell to them. Love touches each of our hearts in the ways that we can best hear it. It touches our memories. It touches our heartbeat and our breathing pattern. It touches our hopes. It comes to us in our own language. It comes with the resonance of our own heart. And it comes to fulfill all of the wishes to connect to love. It teaches us that love is love. It teaches us that love is able to use any language, and that love can surprise us with its capacity to capture us and hold us. This weekend, as we fall in love with our community again, we sense a bit of nostalgia for our past. We share an awe for who we have become and how much we've changed in order to be where we are now. And we gather up our wishes for our best outcome in the years just ahead and long ahead into the next 70 years. With the unprecedented rate of change that we see in our own lives, we shape and reshape our wishes for our congregation and for the world, according to the things that we can't see, through the lens of the things that we do, many of which seem unsettling. It can be scary to imagine that the rate of change that we have experienced over the last 5 years will continue, or worse, increase. But yet, our wishes bubble up in our hearts, and our shared longings create a sense of unity and fortification that we can feel for the ways that we will grow closer and deeper and larger. Our shared wishes connect us and align us with our calling and our mission. When we hear the deep wishes of others that we share this community with, and they resonate with our own, we realize at an even deeper level that we belong together here, and that we will strengthen and support each other in this spiritual place that we call our own. This weekend is a perfectly appropriate time to share our wishes as we celebrate our birthday and prepare for our future together. Blowing out the candles on our 70th birthday cake, a pretty fitting moment to look deep inside and imagine that we hear the voices of our ancestors saying to us, okay, now, think hard for a moment and make a very special wish before you blow. Jarius, if you have that image that I sent you on email, you could put that up on the screen for everybody now. As I ask that we all do that. We all do that. We all think hard for a minute and make a very special wish for this congregation at this moment on our birthday. And imagine that we're sitting in front of our cake on our birthday and someone's, okay, make a wish. So as you open up your order of service and you pull out the music for the Reeves, the children's benediction, you're going to see on the back, I tricked you. George actually did all these, stuck these in there for you. I'd love for you to take these, think about what is your wish for this congregation for the next 70 years, and write it on this Post-it note. This is an image of a dandelion seed that's off into the wind. When we were children and we picked a dandelion that had gone to seed, and our parents go, no, don't blow it, you're going to spread the dandelions. But we wished. We had that child's heart, and we blew our wishes out into the universe. So I invite you to take this little yellow paper right now. If you have a pen, take a few moments, write on here what your wishes are for us. And then I'll invite you to come forward, and we're going to all stick them onto another poster that we'll display for everybody. You don't have to put your name. Just put your wish on there. If anyone needs a pen, we have some on the green table. I'll leave these out for everybody to look at. George, I invite you to come and extinguish the chalice, please, as we all read the words by Martha Kirby Capo that are in your order of service. Into the world, let's read it together. Into our world, we entrust our spirits. May the strength that we have gained in this communal hour sustain us as we resume the work that is at hand. And as we close this hour together, feeling so very fortunate after this weekend, filled with deep appreciation for who we've been and who we're becoming, and for those we will meet as the journey continues, may we choose to bless one another as we choose to bless the world.